And today we're going to talk about chapters 17 all the way to 18 in the last Cuentista. Well, you can see right here, the last Cuentista. Wait, the last Cuentista. Is it backward or is it only me? Wait, here's another one then. The last Cuentista. I'm actually supposed to put this on. But it's annoying. I mean, it keeps on flapping off. It's like, woo! So I'm not gonna use it right now. Instead, we're gonna just dive into the book. Okay, chapter 17. So, the Zetas are going to the shuttles. I have a question. Do you think that this is going to be a safe trip? And when you think about the shuttles, what do you think about? At first, I thought about those national park shuttles, I've ridden a lot of them in Yosemite, in Grand Canyon, in Zion. I mean, those park shuttles, that really big buses that go around. I mean, at first I imagined that, but I was like, how in the world is that gonna lead them to Sagan? So what did you imagine? And how do you think that is built like? Probably like a long metal tube or something. Maybe like a spaceship, or maybe like a capsule that just drops out of the ship, like the mothership, goes down onto the earth, and then at the end goes back up, with rocket propelled launches going up again into the ship. I am not a rocket scientist. Right now, I am still unlocking the mysteries of algebra and pre-algebra, though I'm almost finished with pre-algebra. Still, even though I'm still unlocking the mysteries of pre-algebra and algebra and all the stuff that, it takes a lot of time for you to actually understand rocket science. Even though you could understand some of it, because science and math aren't totally related, but at one point you need to know math, and you need to, so that you know science, and you need science to know math. Show me another example of a dependence. You need this to make this alive, and you need that to make this alive, like that. Think about it very hard, and you might not come up with an answer, or you might. Or you can think about wildlife, how weird animal relationships, you can think about that. You can think about anything, really. And you're probably going to find a lot of them. So think about it, maybe some big animals like sharks, they get groomed by smaller fish. The smaller fish depend on the sharks because on the sharks there'll be food, little algae, bacteria, and dried skin and dead skin. And the sharks depend on all those feeder fish to get clean, right? And to get all the dead skin off them. That's one other thing that's actually from nature. Anyway, let's keep on going. Do you think that Feathers and Rubio are going to be hard to break? Because by the time Petra wakes up, Feathers and Rubio are always already. Ow! I can't stand right now. This is all too narrow. Still, they're all just ready. So, do you think that Petra overslept? Not necessarily. I think that Feathers and Rubio were how there's a time when you're just I should just wake up earlier. I have a question. Do you like waking up earlier or later? Are you a morning bird? Do you call them morning birds? a morning guy or a night guy, a night owl. I love being a night owl. Sometimes I read all the way to 1 o'clock. The only problem, I wake up around like 10:30. And then because I wake up around 10:30, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I have to be like, oh my god, I need to do all this. Oh my god, I need to type, I need to write, I need to, and now I need to read. Oh no, I have to do math. I know, no. Right? Always a disaster. I said disaster times a disaster times a disaster. And yes, you do not want to face this because it's hazardous and dangerous and also very annoying. Instead, what was I talking about? Oh my god, I just forgot about what I was talking about, which is very strange, considering that I was just talking about it right now. Just kidding. So, now, do you think that Crick is okay? Or do you think he's just so under the influence of the Chancellor that, you know, he can't do anything? What about everybody else? Everybody else. Isn't that they're all sort of like brainwashed by the Chancellor? They don't actually know life on Earth, so they don't know what the Chancellor is doing is wrong. Do you think that's it? Or do you think that they actually are evil? And I have a question. If the Chancellor had been born on Earth, do you think that her thoughts would have been different? Maybe, but not necessarily. Remember, why? I mean, why would it be? Well, because, so never mind. I'm not gonna say. I mean, you should have figured this out by now, and if you haven't, then you should look back into the book. Maybe think why, and also another organization that was on Earth that sort of thinks like the Chancellor, or at least thinks pretty badly. Now, I have a question. You know how there was like those bars of food, Bioloaf. So do you think that you could even eat that or not? Remember, what's the number one good thing of eating? The taste, the feeling, not the I'm full. That. I mean, like, that's important. But the taste and the feeling are the best. It's like if you want to eat something like a hamburger, you can just feel like I ate the same amount of calories as a hamburger. That's boring. Instead, you should be like, wow, oh my god. Oh, the lettuce and the meat. I mean, this tastes so good. French fries. Cola. I mean, that's like the feeling of eating. That's what all those people who see, like with big bellies. The only reason they're that is because they appreciate the niceness, the amazingness of eating. So you should appreciate it too, people. And do you really think that you would be able to eat? I mean, I have a question. If you had to create the smallest piece of food that is also really fast to make, like, what would it be? Probably, I mean, like, something like Bioloaf. Probably something like this. So, my mom makes amazing smoothies, basically. Lots of fruit, milk, sometimes nuts. I know, nuts are not very good. I mean, they're good for you, but it's not good for me. I mean, I don't have an allergy, but it's not good for my taste buds, which means it's not good for me, even though it's good for me, because what's good for me is bad for me, because it's bad for my tongue, which is bad for me, which is also good for me. You see? It's an endless paradox. And, yes. But anyway, in one, like, let's say that we freeze a cube of her awesomeness. That would contain milk. That would contain lots of different types of fruits, probably some raspberry and nuts. So you can see how that in just one cube, you have so many things, right? And then you probably also have some honey and all of those. And if you just pop that into your mouth, I mean, it would be a pretty good snack. Yeah, it's not gonna be the best, but it's not gonna be bad either. So my point I'm saying is that maybe, I'm just saying maybe, that if you have like it's not a perfect thing. I'm not a scientist, but that would be like pretty bad, but like, okay, substitute for Bioloaf. They're not very good. And then there is Foxy. What do you think about Foxy? Do you think that, he's like really like the ZS? Like, what do you think? Well, no, Foxy is Foxy, and I think that's just nice, right? Yeah, fun. And I think that without the influence of the Chancellor, he would be totally different. Who knows? Anybody here, how did that Crick or Foxy or even the Chancellor might be different if they grew up on Earth, if they grew up without the influence of all of those propagandas, really bad lies. Without all those, how would they have been living? What do you think? Then there is, so now we keep on going, right? So they keep on going to the shuttle. Whoa. What did you think when you saw the shuttle? Like, what was your first thoughts? My first thoughts, it was this. Whoa, high tech. I'll just read the description. Fancy purple strip lighting of the Pleiades Corp still runs along gunmetal floor and ceiling. Even the seats lining the sides are original indigo blue of the luxury liner company. Instead of crammed rows of benches front to back like a school shuttle, though, there are only 10 seats on each side, each as large as those in the cockpit. A lab station and cubbies with open sample bags run down the center of the aisle. Files and collection tools would have intimidated me before the hundreds of years of downloads, but the incognito program ensures I understand how each instrument in the bag works. What did you think? Like, first of all, of the shuttle. Second of all, of the fact of, the fact that you know stuff, even if you didn't study it, you know stuff. How good would that be? One problem there. First of all, it's very expensive. So, like, the normal kid would probably still go to school because, they mentioned at the start of the book that it was very expensive. So, if you had to do it, I'm pretty sure that only billionaires get this stuff, right? Billionaires, millionaires, CEOs, right? The kids of the CEOs, and regular people like you, me, that guy over there that I do not know, but probably is not a billionaire. All of them are going to probably not be able to afford the incognito unless somehow they get really lucky in the lottery, their stock in the stock market goes up, or they just get really lucky and they're like ho-hum and oh my god, wow, this is like I won the lottery that I never even competed in? That's surprising. Or something like that, right? But, point this. Do you think that old-fashioned learning, learning is still evolving. First, it was just classrooms. Then, grade levels and bigger schools. Then, colleges, universities, and all that. Now, you can do online learning. Just think about the art of problem solving, AOPS.com, AOPS. That's where that's all just online math. And before they didn't have online math, but now they have online math, science courses, anything, history courses, just whole websites devoted to online learning. Like Khan Academy, right? Or Beast Academy. Or, yeah, just like Crash Course, the YouTube channel. Point is, so many different types of online learning. So learning will still evolve, but still, do you like the classroom learning, or do you like online learning, or would you like the incognito? Old-fashioned, either in the classroom or online or just both. Maybe it's because I'm scared of change, but no, not really. It's just that it just feels creepy. It sort of feels like I'm getting brainwashed. Like, I don't really have any control. Besides, I need my time to process the information, and I just don't really like it. It's okay. I would totally have it if I could, but still, not that much. And then I have a question. Do you think that Nyla, you know, the chancellor, if Nyla actually talks to you directly, how would you feel? I would probably want to like throw her across the ship, but since, you know, I can't do that, I'd probably just be like, right? I mean, of course. Now, I have a question. Do you think that you can, if you had been one of the people on the shuttle, would you be able to do it? Probably not. And I have a question. How do you think that Len is going to react to this? You know, Len, the guy, how do you think he's going to react to it? Probably he's going to throw up. He's already closing his eyes. I mean, like, you know how, like, whenever there's, like, a car sick, plane sick guy, and he's like, oh, I'm going to just have to relax. Are you car sick and plane sick? If so, do you sort of know what Len is going through? I'm not plane sick at all. I mean, it's just normal. I like planes. Car sick, I get car sick sometimes. And I always get roller coaster sick. That is just one rule that's always common. I always get roller coaster sick. That's a very bad, true fact. And then the shuttle goes off, right? And then they're still going down. And how would you feel? Like, if you had been on that shuttle, how confident would you have felt? I would have felt terrified. Maybe the landing would be messed up. Maybe something would be messed up. But then again, technology would be really advanced then. So that probably wouldn't be the most important thing to worry about. Maybe more about, like, am I going to survive that gel? Or are our ships even going to get there? So if they've traveled, like, hundreds and hundreds of years, preserved in gel, without any like fuel, refills, I think that after that you don't really need to worry about the shuttles because they've already done so much technological stuff. I mean, shuttles must be probably easy for them, right? Now, what do you think about Sagan? I mean, like, you just look at there's like a sun, there's like a big, like, there's like a lake, there's like there's sort of like something like a jungle, and really, would you think that you would even survive that? I mean, yeah, what do you think? Well, yeah, it keeps on going down and down and down. And how surprised were you that this was sort of like Earth? Big Jurassic size leaves, turquoise lakes, and mountains, and like forests, jungles, plants. I mean, were you surprised? I mean, do you think that this is possible to have so much of the sameness? I was really shocked that it was so much like Earth. But at the same time, I have to say, like, with so many possibilities, there's probably another planet that is like ours, like has faced the same time and geology. But it's not the same. It has its own footprints, right? Sagan is different, and it has different plants, it has different species. It probably has a different environment. But still, the basic same thing has probably happened to Sagan. And then we land. And we're gonna have to see what happens. There's lakes, there's mountains, but there's no Javier. There's no family for Petra. So, do you think that even though they found Sagan, what are the things that are missing right now for Petra? They found Sagan, and Petra's actually stepping on into Sagan. But what do you think is wrong with that plan? And also, another question. Do you think that this is Petra's chance